So, if you guys are just coming from Snoot Stream, I unfortunately don't have a Zerg for you per se, but we have a best of 5, and this is a qualifier game. The winner of this will move on to the groups that start tomorrow, and of course, we also have the other half of the bracket to go through. But for now, spawning at the top right side, we do have the red Protoss Gungfubanda. Just watched him steal victory away from Seoul. To the bottom left, we have his opponent. I don't recognize this name so much. It's Krystianer. I thought this was a Zerg player. My bad. It's Protoss. But to explain what's going on for Snoot's viewers and anyone else, again, who might be lurking about the stream and not paying too much attention, these games were all played out this morning. In fact, the grand finals match was... well, 47 is bringing us some Zerg. Thank you, man. The grand finals match of this qualifier was actually played at the same time as the grand finals match of WCS. So these are like hot off the press, but they are replays. Nobody has seen these except me, Dares, and the players. That being said, you're watching them with me the first time because I didn't cast these earlier or anything. We're doing this live now together. But 47 is thank you for the 2,000 bits. He barely busts a little bit in the Twitch chat. He says, I gotta go. You deserve an amazing month. Thank you, 47. I will do my best. I plan to work hard and get back up on top. But okay, well, I don't know much about Krystianer. What I can tell you guys from the secret bracket is he actually 2-0 Denver, which is pretty impressive. Even if you're balance winding in the matchup, Denver's a really good player. So nicely done on his part. That's how we got here to the semifinals. The other match we'll be casting after this will be a best of 5 between Clem versus DNS. I'm actually pretty stoked for that one because I think Clem's a fantastic player and DNS always impresses, especially in the Ting Opens. And then, of course, we have the grand finals, but I won't spoil that one yet because we got to watch these games. Also, while we're doing a little bit of self-servingness, because I would like to grab the attention of anyone who's new to the stream, hit the follow button. I'm back, baby. I haven't cast since March 8th or something like that. This is my first official return. I plan to get back into the full-time swing of things. My biggest fear was my lungs wouldn't hold the capacity for this stream, but so far, so good. We've also got a new YouTube channel up, youtube.com/BaseTradeTV2, as in the number 2. And we've got a lot of really good VODs that are exclusive, fresh, and hot, and you should check them all out, because we need a little bit more watch time to turn on monetization. But no, really, I've cast some really great games on YouTube, and frankly, the best one, I gotta say, to recollection was, I think it was like Thermal versus a laser. So sick. Mana versus Rail, best PvP I've seen in a long time. Maybe these guys prove me wrong, but I don't know. A game where a player can win with 14 army supply against a player with 46 army supply is a PvP you gotta fucking check out. Flotch, go watch the last video we've ever posted on the Base Trade channel. That'll explain it. All right, so for this one, we didn't actually have anything too cheeky. In fact, I haven't seen these stalkers in a while. I forgot how much I hated their little go-go boots, but both players take their Nexus at similar timings. There is the difference in tech opening for this, so Krystianer not going for a Stargate. Gungfubanda did go for a Stargate, but this has been scouted by the hallucinated Phoenix, so there should be no surprises in that regard. And in fact, continuing to build more stalkers means you should be able to deal with this. And one of the really, really big details about the current state of StarCraft 2 is Oracles are no longer light units. They are classified as armored units, meaning that they take bonus damage from the stalkers where they never did before. Also, Neox SE2, thank you for the 11 months. Don't let me miss out on that. Thank you so much, dude. I'm getting information from chat saying that Krystianer is a 15-year-old from Poland. Now, Poland has produced some of the best StarCraft 2 players I've seen in Europe, minus Italy. But, okay, that's cool. That actually gives me a lot of hope for this guy. You got players like Mana, Sol, Nerchio, folks from the past too. Poland's actually had some really good players. Laser, I forget about that all the time. Just, again, really good players. And I love seeing them play. You missed me, though. Did I, Bangdoza? Oh, because you subbed during the commercial break, you cheeky, cheeky guy. But thank you for the 31 months. I wouldn't miss that out. And if I ever miss your subs, don't feel like it's needy. I'm happy to shout it out. If I ever miss it, it's always on accident. It makes me feel bad. So thank you for the 31 months. Says, yay, Riff with SC2. Hell yeah. Oh, no, it was well snoot rated. Excuse me. Not during the commercial break. I'm just full of excuses and garbage. Like most Protoss players. Am I right? Okay, shield battery here is actually a really nice touch. He blocks up on the high ground too. Make sure the step doesn't go much further. Although while he does have a shield battery, he's not sitting near it, so he's taking a couple of probe kills. Meanwhile, lurking in the bottom, he does have some oracles set up. Oh man, that adept is so close to dead. That is so annoying. There you go. The oracles are going to come in, but sadly be greeted with some stalkers. And as he said, they take the bonus damage from the stalkers, 18 a shot instead of 13. Oracles are a lot easier to deal with now in PvP, and that's a big part of why you've seen them phased out. They're not really as commonly gone for, but they still provide a lot of great utility as long as you don't lose them in the early game. Stasis traps are obviously part of the game and can be funny at times, but really devastating at other times. And on the other hand, you got Revelation, which is always good. Having eyes on your opponent without having to use hallucinations or sacrifice units, always going to be key. Looks like Roy Jones in the chat's a Poland fan. I like Poland too. If there's one thing I regret, okay, look, real talk, in retrospect, I understand, acknowledge, and I would not repeat the same mistake of working with G2A, right? But one thing I always kind of missed out on, I was sad about, was I got invited to go to a special G2A party in Poland. And some other streamers I know that I was friends with at the time, like Dear Naughty and others, they went, and they said it was a blast. And Poland is this amazing place. And I really wish I had gone. Like, that is my one regret, because I have no other opportunities to go to Poland, right? I'm not getting brought to I Am Katowice anytime soon. I want to check out Poland at some point, man. I love pierogies. Give me some of that sausage. I don't know. Okay, this is starting to sound a little bit... Okay. Clearly I haven't eaten yet. Feels bad, man. But we'll deal with it for the cast. Have that tummy rumble and fill my gut after we're done. But, okay, as far as where we're at in the game, we got Blink coming out of Gungfubanda, which is a little weird, I gotta say. Blink is fine when it's kind of your go-to path, but this is like a second thought. And well, he's got a lot of immortals. He's even... Oh, Gungfubanda, you cheeky guy. I love this. He hallucinated an immortal. Now, whether this comes into effect for the fight or not, at a glance, Krystianer is going to see this and be like, wait, that's too many immortals for me to fight. And if he does focus down the wrong one, then that's even worse. But blinks in, blinks out. 2 decisions made, and the way out was probably the best one. 8 probes die on the other side of the map. This does put him a little bit behind. Gungfubanda's got +1 weapons, which in an even footing would give him a huge lead, but I gotta be honest, guys, from Neeb to Harsum, I've seen a lot of really good Protoss players push out fast weapon upgrades and have that ultimately not win them the game. So I look at this, I respect it, but I'm also a little skeptical about this fast push out of a +2. The oracles from earlier are still alive. This is kind of a big deal. So there's that constant threat in the mineral lines, leaving parts of his army at home instead of his entire army being across the map. Stalkers are going to blink in, but not enough to kill that oracle, so he'll get out alive again. The current immortal count is sitting on 3, but the stalker count's 14 to 22. We got blink for both in 7 seconds. Double Twilight. Oh, no, that's a mistake. 2 Templar Archives is too many Templar Archives. The worst part is they're so close to each other, so you know that's a mistake. We've all been there. We've all done that. We've seen some of the best players in the world build 2 Ultralisk Caverns and 4 Evolution Chambers, but yikes, that's going to hurt. Not only is that, but he's losing the battle on the other side of the map. The Immortals are so freaking good. If the Stalkers get to fight with blinking, it's fine, but like anytime the Immortal connects, you can't juke that shot. It's an instant connect, no projectile, and they tear Stalkers apart. The aggressive blink out of Gungfubanda pursuing these Stalkers is also getting him a lot of these kills, and Krystianer is going to fall back and just have almost no army to work with defensively. I do like the swap tier to Archons and Zealots. These are units that will not take bonus damage from Stalkers and Immortals. But at the same time, not only is he down in terms of armory supply, but also in upgrades, and that's where we might actually see that +2 work out pretty well. Oracles get back to that mineral line. I don't think they care if they die this time. They're going for broke. Looking to just eradicate the probe count. 10 dead. GG's get called. No big final battle. That's it. Gungfubanda takes game 1 in this best of 5. G2A always felt sketch to me, and I never used it. Well, so here's the problem. This is why it's a retrospect thing, right? I don't know. G2A give us a lot of money each month. And at the same time, they give us access to a lot of free games or cheap games for our fans. And like, it just looked like a... Back then, young, naive Rifkin did not know what too good to be true meant. Now, salty, grizzled veteran Rifkin, who has seen too many people screwed over and all these injustices online, knows that that was too good to be true. And I really wish I could redo it and not be involved with G2A. But at the same time, it's tough because like they literally funded almost all of our tournaments for a year with just what they were paying us. Anyways, G2A's in the past. We haven't been involved with them for years at this point. They're still around, unfortunately. It's a thing. Let's not talk about them. Let's not give them any extra exposure than they deserve. Let's instead hop into this Mimi intro for King's Cove, and I'll see you guys in game number 2. Always gets me every time. But okay, we're hopping into game number 2 of this best of 5. Spawning here at the bottom right side, we got the red Protoss. He's up 1-0, Gungfubanda. His opponent at the top left could be the blue Protoss. It is, of course, his opponent, Krystianer, young Polish prodigy. Now, some people always ask, what's with this face that comes up on the command series of Nexus sometimes? And basically, if the game files can't load properly, any graphic, it could be a probe, it could be this icon, that face is just like a fill-in spot. I think they actually call them fill or something like that. I can't remember. There's an actual meme behind it, but it basically is just for textures that don't show up. So they've got their clan tags that are unavailable to me because it's a replay. But what's weird is when they build their second base, their clan tag will show up properly. So for whatever reason, it's silly. It's the first one. But yeah. He's a hello, you handsome devil. He's got a forehead on him, I'll tell you that much. But, all right, PvP. Things got a little wild, things got a little crazy. And what I do like is that Gungfubanda seemed to keep his calm under fire, because while he was under attack by a massive amount of blink stalkers on his side of the field, he was still controlling his oracles. He wasn't YOLOing to the mineral lines until the time called for it. So I gotta say, very nicely well done. Also, speaking of nicely well done, Banana Bread 03 just donated $5 dues to say, here, get some of that tax return for that intro. This is the problem. It perpetuates the cycle, though, right? You donate $5, and I got to put 20% of that away for taxes for next year because it's still income. Thank you for the $5. I will never say no to $5. But yeah, the intros and stuff are a lot of fun to make. It just sucks because I feel like they get so short-lived. I put so much effort into it, we get like 2 months out of it, and then they swap out the seasons. It feels bad, man. But at the same time, it is good that we've got map variety, so I can't complain that hard. We do have a pretty interesting difference in openers. 2 Adepts coming out of Gungfubanda. This will probably get a little aggressive, but overall, these are not as dangerous as they used to be. And in fact, there's a Sentry, which is odd to see, and a Stalker coming out of Krystianer. The earlier Sentry leads for an earlier Scout. You're not building this because you're defensively looking for force fields. You're building this because you want to build... Oh, he gets trapped outside of the base. That pylon block was sick. And if these Adepts were transferring over fast enough, this light unit would get killed, and this would be a huge waste of gas. But sorry, finishing my thought. The reason you go for the Sentry a lot quicker is it means you get the Hallucinate Phoenix out quicker, which means you get scouting much faster. And that's kind of an important detail in PvP. And this pylon was allowed to finish because he was really hoping it would deny the Sentry from getting back into the safety of the main base, but that's 100 minerals out now for Gungfubanda, as he does have 2 Adepts rushing across the map. They didn't get here fast enough. Replay the Midnight Madness for us just because? Oh, I'd have to go dig that one up, man. I know it's on my computer somewhere, but that's that's an oldie. Yo, it's crazy. I actually I found one of our Zotag, like our first, I posted this in Discord. I found our first ever replay pack we ever sent out. It was from like October 13th, 2013 or something. And I didn't start sending out replay packs until after we were partnered. And I was making map intros since before we were partnered. So it only dawned on me that I've been doing map intros for 7 years. 7 years of just these silly little sweet and short videos that I don't know how many people actually end up appreciating at the end of the day, but if things like King's Cove can put a smile on your faces, then that makes me happy too. These Adepts want to transfer him, but that's not going to go well. Canceling the transfer is a better move. Oracle poses a small threat this game, But Gungfubanda's Nexus is the much bigger deal here. In a game of PvP, you can't afford to not expand if your opponent expands. Even if you were planning to go for your own big all-in, it's too big of a risk to take, and you fall too far behind the power of a second Nexus. So, what was not finishing either of the... okay, that was all kinds of awkward with the focus fire, but whatever, he kills the Adepts. I don't like this. I feel like Gungfubanda is going to get massively ahead in this game. I don't think Krystianer can warp in possibly enough units to go for a game-ending move here. All it's going to take is like a shield battery and a force field with this Immortal, and he should be able to hold the attack of Stalkers. If this was Zealots, this would actually be a different story, but 3 sentries could shake things up. It is weird to see 3 sentries with this attack. It's different. You don't see it. Oh, man. Cactus Valley was good times. Cactus Valley at Home Story Cup. Having Liquid Bunny, Scarlet, and Bly dance with us. Probably the best time I had with that intro. Oh, did Soul play already? Oh, I forgot to update the title. Soul just lost, actually. It feels bad, man. But marching up the front gates, force fields go down. This is what I'm talking about. It just takes a good force field or 2 to shut this down. And Krystianer doesn't actually have the DPS to kill the Nexus before his Gungfubanda's main base is freed. While this goes on, 2 Oracles come across the map. There's a shield battery, but 2 Oracles can zippity zap with focus fire, and then shield battery means jack squat. Oh, that's work is picked off. The Nexus is actually never done. He's not responding. He's actually chosen to stay up on the high ground. An interesting decision that I don't know that I like, because he just gives away the Nexus, but at the same time, there's no way for the blue Protoss to push up this ramp, and he knows it. Both players have force fields. Both players stop this from getting too out of hand. There's a shield battery here too. Oh no, a couple units caught in the front line. That's okay. The shield battery should keep this alive for a little bit longer, but oh no. Wait, it's healing the Adept, not the Immortal. Oh, but the Warp Prism pick up just in the nick of time. Oh, that's sick timing. All right, he saves this unit. That was pretty legit. Problem is, he's still under siege, and maybe Krystianer's looking to take this back. No, a little bit of Immortal focus fire. Now that he's got the aid of the Warp Prism, he doesn't have to be worried about getting exposed to a force field killing him. There you go. See that handle the Stalkers. Gateway almost dies. They dance with you? Yo, there's this clip somewhere out there. We'd have to dig it up. I think it's on our old YouTube channel. But we played the Cactus Valley intro, so it's me and Zombie Grub, and I'm like 100 pounds heavier than I am now there, and I look really bad. Ugh, don't watch this clip. Forget it. You know what? I didn't mention it at all. Shit. Anyways, it's the 5 or 6 of us. Ooh. Okay, well, not unexpected. It was one base versus another one coming up. Krystianer didn't have an army to fight with. Taps out. Gungfubanda against game number 2. But to finish my story there briefly, yeah, it was about the 5 of us just on camera dancing to the intro. It was pretty funny, but okay. Abrupt but unfortunate. So now Gungfubanda leads 2-0. Only needing one more game to completely shut down this series. And it looks like game 3 is going down on Port Alexander. And what? Let me get out. I don't want to spoil anything for you guys. Something just happened. I have to show you on the in-game client. But if I'm in the replay screen, it will spoil things. So let me get out of this really quick. Because lo and behold, Artosis has logged on to StarCraft 2. Artosis is on StarCraft 2. Possibly playing not Brood War. But okay, let me get back to the replays. Let's get to game number 3. It's going down on Port Alexander. I'll see you guys on the map. Okay, game number 3 in this best of 5. It's match point for our blue Protoss. He's on his last life, but to the top left, spawning red, spawning in Germany. He's up 2-0. It's Gungfubanda. And look, we got his clan tag this game for some reason. Question mark? Oh, they're using Gameheart finally. Nice. In the bottom right, it's his blue Protoss opponent. it's going to be Krystianer. I'm probably saying his name so very wrong, so if there's any big fans of this guy out there, please know I mean nothing by it. I'm just trying my best to get by here, okay? But as said, he is on his last life, and that's a little bit difficult to deal with. It's not fun coping with the reality that you could lose this entire qualifier with this single game. But maybe he'll bounce back. We've seen some really cool comebacks in games, but if I'm going to be brutally honest, I'm just not seeing it. I think with these two players, as much as I admire seeing new talent, youth on the scene, it does feel like Gunfubanda's just got his number in both games. Game 1 and Game 2 felt one-sided. But for Gungfubanda, this is also a great spot to be in. You're up 2-0. This is the qualifier match. If you get through this, you're guaranteed top 8 of the Rifkin's back tournament, and top 8 gets prizing. We made sure everybody gets a little taste of that prize money. $25 for last place. It's not a lot, but it's guaranteed prize money. First place is worth 400 and possibly more. Again, let's talk about this while I've got you guys in your attention and we're live on stream, because I don't know what we're going to do with the excess money. We threw up a matcherino, unsure anybody would really donate to it, you know, maybe $1 or $2, but we ended up having someone named Lovely Loves throwing $500 to the prize pool. 47 is $50, Bractum is 15, and so forth. So we've got all this extra money to work with. What I'm kind of looking down 3 different pathways for this, right? One of them is just split up the money between the players. Everybody gets more cash. Woo! Another option is possibly use that excess money to hire a co-caster. So it's not Rifkin just solo casting the entire tournament, which I personally wouldn't mind one way or the other. Or the third option, and to be honest, this is the one I'm kind of leaning towards, is take the excess money and just fund another tournament. So instead of just having one awesome tournament, we have 2 awesome tournaments. You know, but I don't know what we're doing with it yet. This isn't going to be up for a vote. This will be my decision at the end of the day. I will try and figure this out before tomorrow, though, because I want people to be aware as they go into the group stages what they're playing for. I don't want these players thinking that they're, you know, going to get more money than they should or less money than they should, if that makes sense. No scamas. I want to be fully transparent. So we'll figure it out by tomorrow's group stage for certain. I would take the money for myself. I would love to. But here's the thing, Gyro Shrimp. Oh, this is a cool Protoss mechanic you never get to see. Hang on. Hang on, we're rewinding, because it's a replay. We're rewinding. I gotta go over this. You hardly ever see this happen. So one of the really unique things to Adepts, many of you know, they can't transfer through buildings. But they also can't transfer through other psionic transfers for some reason. So Gungfubanda, really clutch move here, kind of messes up the hold position, but he tries to body block the Adepts with his own transfer, and it kind of works, forcing the cancel out of Krystianer, so he's not going to dive into the mineral lines, and he's not going to get the probe kills because he lost a precious 3 seconds muddling around at the ramp. It's such a subtle move, but such a cool move that, again, I think most people know is a thing, but you rarely see happen, so I don't expect people to muscle memory for this. But at any rate, I highlighted this without speaking about it. Now that it's been revealed, there is a proxy starport in play. The Oracle's already over the main base, recalling the Stalkers back home. He's going to bleed out some probes. He knows this, but he's going to try his best to shut this down. That shield battery is nowhere close to done, so he's relying on the Stalkers, but 7-8 workers die to this. A little bit rough, but once this probe confirms there's no natural base on the other side of the field, I don't think Gungfubanda will be sweating all that badly. He'll have 2 Nexus to replace these, not to mention get even more workers and get further ahead. So, as the Oracle comes back in for round 2, there's a shield battery. This will pretty much deny the Oracle's damage as is. The Stalkers can kill it straight up. And that natural base out of Gungfubanda is looking a lot better than his opponents, which is coming down a bit late. War Prism also flies over these Adepts. Oh no. Oh, this could be problems. Because while the Stalkers can eventually kill all these, there's a good chance these kill most of the workers before Gungfubanda does. But oh, the nice shield battery block! Okay, he's... Whew, I didn't even see that probe there. Thank God it was there. That could have been game over, boys. But Oracle comes in with a stasis trap instead of kills. That's a clever move. The units here, of course, get frozen. That's going to shut down income for a while. You guys are going to see that. Yeah, oh my God, look at the drop-off. But while this goes on, he is harassing a little bit on the other side of the map. He's grabbed 5 probe kills. Not bad. Shield battery's canceled, so he's not going to let that complete. Income, again, plummeting even further due to the stasis trap, but the probes go right back to work afterwards. This Warp Prism Adept combo is pretty nasty, and it's working out pretty good. I play Protoss, and I didn't know that I can block Adept Shades with Adept Shades. Oh, well, hey, you know what? Then today we all learned, which is cool. Yeah, there's so many cool little subtle things in StarCraft. That's what I really appreciate it, but nothing that's too game-breaking. Like the Adept blocking out another Adept, that's not going to ever be the end of a game, I don't think. But at the same time, it's just cool that that's there, even though it's rarely used and rarely utilized. The Immortal is going to die to these Adepts. That's going to feel bad, man. Stepped a little too far away from the safety of this base. But he's got an army to back him up, so they can't chase in either. Only if he had stayed exposed like that. So the Nexus for Krystianer finishes up. While we've had workers killed on both sides of the map, 10 apiece, Nexuses finish up around similar timings, and both players have similar workers, thus some similar looking income. I'm really trying to abuse the graph all we can, because these guys keep forgetting to make it with game art. But anyways, this is something where I can't really say either player's decisively ahead. However, if Krystianer loses a bunch of Adepts, that's really going to suck. Because Stalkers and Immortals are already pretty good. They're your bread and butter of this matchup. And while it's a cliche phrase to say, it's because it works. His opponent getting Immortals out now, but he doesn't have the proper support for them the same way Gungfubanda does. Like, Gungfubanda is going to have, what, 3 sentries? He's got 8 Stalkers to sit in front of these, a couple of Adepts warping in now too. That Warp Prism here on the front line going to assist greatly with this. And even chronoing out the gateways to get new weapons in here much faster. I really think Gungfubanda's just got the better army buffer for this. But at the same time, if there's a couple shield batteries, that could change the dynamic around pretty greatly. Only 1 shield battery coming down, though, and that's a little worrying. I think I favor Gungfubanda just a smidge based off what's on the field right now. That Immortal's a god. But there's 2 Immortals over here. If they don't chew through the Adepts fast enough, he might just lose his quicker. Picks up the Immortal, already yielding the front line, giving up that front attack. Immortal's picked up by the Phoenix. That's kind of a cute move. But the force fields will stop his other units from capitalizing on this. Oh, nicely done. Freeze the Immortal. Hardened barrier popped. All the Immortals have their shields down now at this point. Warp Prism Micro is going to be key. Gungfubanda getting a little bit too deep past his own force fields. But his army supply is still up about 10. And his type of supply is a lot better. The Immortal's getting focused down. He does lose his Immortal. This is big. Now it's 2 Immortals to none. But if he warps in more Zealots and more Adepts, those Immortals are a lot less terrifying. Force Field's not quite here. He's pushing through the small units. Hardened barriers popped once again. And those Immortals will live to see another day. Meanwhile, his probe count's not quite as good as his opponent's. He's got to make up for that. He's going to fall back from the fight. And it looks like Gungfubanda's not going to press the issue. Things are getting a little bit tight there for Krystianer. I don't know if he was on breaking point or not, but Gungfubanda is yielding his frontline position. Those Purifier Stalker skins are so beautiful. Yeah, I really like them a lot. I like them a lot better than the Guy Fieri skins. Like, I really hate these Stalkers. These are Diner, Dive-Ins, and Drive Stalkers. They got the spiked hair on the back and these silly little go-go boots. 47 is, to date, is still the only person who's ever properly personified that through art. Thank you again for that, man. But yeah, just add some frosted tips and you got Guy Fieri Stalkers. Look at them. I mean, seriously. Seriously. It's ridiculous. I didn't say anything's wrong with them, guys. That's not the point of this. They're just not cool-looking Stalkers. Look, if I think of a badass battle unit I want in the front line, they come from the void. I don't think the guy from Diners, Dive-Ins, and Drives, okay? Don't insult the mayor of Flavortown. Look, it'd be just the same as if they gave him, like, the 90s Justin Timberlake ramen noodle hair look, right? Again, maybe you like Justin Timberlake from the 90s, but that's not what a Stalker should look like. Okay, Warp Prism again, wrapping around the bottom side with those Adepts. Resonating Glaives coming out for his opponent, but that would only really matter if it was an Adept versus an Adept or Adept versus Zealot battle. Because Gungfubanda is still going really hard on the Stalkers and moving into possibly Disruptors, I'm not really liking too much what Krystianer's got going for him. And now he's taking some pretty nasty losses in the main. The Adept's going to grab those kills pretty nicely. Attacking the front simultaneously, but too many force fields forced to disengage. Ah, this Warp Prism play. Really good. Super obnoxious. 6 more probes go down. And now Krystianer's down by a whole 10 workers. And that income graph is going to really start reflecting that. Now, granted, our blue Protoss has had the income advantage for the majority of the game leading up to this. So he's not hurting yet. This will take a few minutes to go through. But, oh, here we go with the Disruptors. I want to pretend like it's Colossus, you know, give you guys that caster hype. But, like, it's PvP. It's always going to be Disruptor unless you're Rail. Rail's the only guy that builds Colossus. But the point of this is, one good disruptor shot could easily take out every single adept or pop all the immortals then at half health. You know, it doesn't even have to be an amazing shot. It just has to be a halfway decent shot, and he's got this in the bag. We go on the backside. They try and focus down, but he sits near the shield battery to avoid that focus fire. Maybe Gungfubanda is the one in trouble, though. He's caught out in the open. Remember, his stalkers here are getting crushed by the 4 immortals. Hold the phone, but a new disruptor comes out. Looking for the magic hit. Doesn't get it. Shield battery still holding on. Other disruptors should be off cooldown any second. Another fire on top of these immortals, and they could all go down. Here we go. Grabs the sentry, grabs most of the front line. All the shields have been popped at this point. Other disruptor almost off cooldown. 4 seconds to go. This base, as long as he can keep these disruptors alive, it's not over. This looked like it was game over initially with the fight, but here we go. Another shot takes out another immortal. The other disruptor is picked off. Feels bad, man. But defensive warp ins, money, income, and defender's advantage all shining through here for Gungfubanda. That warp prism is going to be sent packing, and the adepts end up losing out. Resonating glaives lost to no resonating glaives. Told you the upgrade wouldn't be that big of a deal. I wish somebody loved me as much as every caster loves disruptors. Well, Mount Everstand, if you made somebody else clench their butthole the same way a disruptor shot does, I think you'd be married in an instant. Now back on the other side of the field, there's not a lot more to really talk about. He's just low on mineral patches in general. Both players are actually mining out of their mains at the time of speaking. No one's got a third base on the way, so income's getting low all around. And you'll need a lot less money to work with when there's a lot less units on the field. But this isn't what I'm talking about. 2 to 17 units. This is looking pretty bad. These immortals, oh, just skirting by on the edge of life. They are on death's door knocking. I wish I had a knock-knock joke queued up and ready. That would have been great. There's a decent army that's being warped in back at home, but if he loses this warp prism, or he loses these immortals before he gets to meet up with that army, and that looks like that might just be the case. There's no blink on these stalkers, but he's giving chase to the warp prism. Oh, that got spicy for a second for blue. I'm really shocked he's staying on this side of the map, though. Like, I'm really surprised he's not meeting up with the rest of his army. This is so dangerous to be doing what he's doing. Cartman State, thank you for the 13 months. Certainly could have oh, she ate it! Oh, this is, he tries to recall the immortals. Oh, no! He gets 1 immortal out alive. The warp prism with 3 health barely escapes, but who cares? It's got 3 health. You're garbage, kid. Go home. This is not looking good for Krystianer. He's still down by so many workers. But, as I said earlier, the worker count's a lot less relevant. However, that's only for the minerals. We gotta note, Krystianer is actually out of gas, and he hasn't taken either of the geysers at his natural, nor does he have the probes to saturate it, whereas Gungfubanda has. So the funny thing is, Krystianer is going to desperately be warping in adepts and zealots because that's all he can afford. Whereas Gungfubanda is going to still be able to bring in stalkers, sentries, disruptors. That gas count is actually a big deal. If this was a game that ended 3 minutes ago, this would have no bearing on it. But it's not over. It's still fighting. Adept bowling, as it's been nicknamed in the chat. Yes, absolutely what we're going to see. How many disruptors is he at now? Just 2? I think it's just 2, yeah. So 1 over here, and I think it's 1 in the warp prism. The adepts transfer forward. He's got to be careful. Focus fire. Friendly fire is a problem with this. But oh my god! He preemptively sets up for that transfer. A risky move to say the least, but takes out half the adepts. The other half. Oh, and the immortal get exploded. This is not looking good for Krystianer. The army supplies are 61 to 32. He's backing up from this, but there's an attack in the main while this goes on too. So what few probes he has left mining gas are being picked off, and he's already struggling to build units in the first place. That disrupt. Oh, wait a minute. He just killed like a good chunk of his own army. Maybe he doesn't care. Sacrificing it to the blood god. Either way, Blink is good in play. He's going to be able to blink away from these shots now and no longer eat them so terribly. But GG still get called. Oh, that's going to be a 3-0 for Gungfubanda, and he will qualify into the group stage. So we will see Gungfubanda return on Monday or Tuesday. But he's not done yet. He still has to play the winner of the other series for placement in the groups. So that being said, we have another best of 5 coming up, then a best of 3, and then it's all done. So the next series is going to be DNS versus Clem in a best of 5. This is a Terran versus Protoss, and frankly, one of the best Terran versus one of the best Protoss. My favorite guys to see. So we're going to hop into a small commercial break. I got to run to the bathroom, folks. If you're liking the show, consider hitting that follow button. If you're really liking the show, consider hitting that subscribe button. But either way, I'll be back in a few moments. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in the, we'll call it the WCS after show. I'll be back in a bit.